Hey, it's Matt Quistor for Crazy Mo Guitar coming at you with video 2 of how to play guitar faster in a rock style. So stay tuned, rock out. Alright, so this example is using the main riff from the Clapton tune Cocaine, which basically starts off with an E major bar chord, root 5. So I got the first finger on the 7th fret and the A string, and I'm barring my third finger on the D, the G, and the B string on the 9th fret. I call it the ski ramp chord, so you're ramping that third finger trying to get that bar. Some people will flatten the first finger as well, but you don't have to, so it's kind of up to you. But with that, you can have the E major chord, root 5. We're going to also use a D major. And the first part of that riff is the chord part, so you have the E to the D, back to E, so ba-da-da-da. And for that one, I'm just pretty much using all downstrokes. And then to transition back to the D chord, there's going to be a couple of dead notes, which is basically taking the bar chord and releasing the pressure. I bring in my second finger sometimes just to add more of a clump so I can get a cleaner dead note. How's that for an oxymoron? Cleaner dead note. So the idea is to have a nice chunk. You don't want to have it to be, where it rings or has a couple extra notes that you just don't want to hear. You want to just hear a percussive attack. So you're going to have the chord, E to D. And basically it's 3 right there. And strumming wise, if you just kind of start with that down, down, up, will be that hit to the D major chord. Or the way we do actually just alternate your strum right from the top. So either way works for you as far as how you start it off, whether you just do a bunch of downstrokes, down, 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 or down, up, doesn't really matter. I just think it sounds a little more just rocked or a little more raw with the downstrokes. The trick there is going to be catching that down, up, down with the dead notes, and then moving to that D chord, catching that with the upstroke. So what you can do is you can kind of move that left hand over as you're doing the chunks. That's where you're ready to drop in and actually fret the chord. So that's the chord part. Now the first lick, which I'm just, again, taking the main idea from the song and throwing in 2 licks to get that chord to scale practice, which is the magic formula for how to get faster. In this case, just some different coordinations. So we're taking this first note, it's the 8th fret on the B string. So I'm kind of I'm sitting in a combination of a root 5 E pentatonic, which you don't need a whole scale. I'll just go through note by note, but it's a root 5 minor pentatonic on E into a root 5 backward shape. So let's just look at the actual pattern. So we're starting with the 2nd finger on the 8th fret on the B string, and I give it a little bit of a bend, just like a quarter step bend, which is going to lead into the 9th fret on the G string with the 3rd finger. Then we're going to descend to the 7th fret on that same string on the G string with the 1st finger. So you have 8, 9, 7. And here's where we're going to cross over from the root 5 scale to the root 5 backward. We're going to hit this 9th fret on the D string, and immediately with my 3rd finger slide down to the 7th fret. So you have that. So it's a real quick slide. I don't want to hear that 9. I want to just hear that sliding motion. And from there, we're set up for the 5th fret on the D string, which will be the 1st finger. Then finally the E, 7th fret on the A string is the 3rd finger. Now that finishes my riff. What I do is I end with an open E string. And an open E string is all the time I have to go from that scale run back to that bar chord. So you have this. Into the chord. So you can practice doing the run. Hit the chord, hit the open string into the chord. So the first part of the riff is like this. Okay, then the second fill, again, we're going to do the chords. Chunk, chunk, chunk up. And then right after that that D major chord, we're going to do an open E minor pentatonic. And all I'm doing is doing some pull-offs from the top of the scale. So the 3rd fret and the high E string, using just my first and my second finger. So I have the pull-off from 3 to the open on the E string. Same thing for the B string. I use my first finger here for the 2nd fret and the G. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling off of the open string, so you got to kind of catch your callus and give a little bit of a flick. Then I have the same thing for the D string, then the A. So it's going to be 2nd finger, 2nd finger, 1st, 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 and then I have the 2nd finger on the low E 3rd fret. So you have. Okay, so in the riff you have this. Now, also in this video, you could do, if you don't want to work on the pull-offs, you could also pick them if you wanted to. But I like the pull-offs. It just sounds a little smoother, and it gives you good practice with working these pull-offs, going from a fretted note to the open string, which is not the easiest thing to do. So don't be afraid just to kind of practice walking that scale. All right, so holding together, you have this. Alright, so that was video 2 of how to play guitar faster in a rock style. So a little different coordination than the first video, and that's kind of the intent here, is to throw different perspectives, different types of coordination, and you put everything together into this giant pot of coolness, and that is what helps you to get faster. So it's not always going to be just shred, 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 go as fast as you can. It's going to be build, 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 the coordination and finger independence, so that you can execute what you want to do on the fretboard. So as usual, subscribe to our channel, check out crazymoguitar.com. Matt Quistorf signing out. See ya!